Oh man, oh man, oh man. Wow. Well, an unexpected result, I think, to take us through. That actually puts Drunken Boy through to the round of 8. However, we have more matches yet to play. Gosu User lies as the final boss here in this particular bracket. But now, we're going to have these two guys. We're going to have Hendralisk, and we're going to have Neeb facing off. Hendralisk, welcome back.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go. So, you had an unfortunate loss against Gosu User in the Zerg vs. Zerg. How are you feeling about your Zerg vs. Terran?
I've actually practiced a lot more ZVT going up to this point throughout the week. So it should hopefully be better than what I showed in ZVZ.
Fair enough. Now, Neeb, you had a fairly similar experience in the fact that TVT was not what you weren't looking forward to that matchup. Drunken Boy was able to take the 2-0 there and just beat Gosu User as well. Very impressive result to start with for your team, I've got to say. What are you going to do to make sure 2 FXO players go through?
I don't know. I'm not too great at TVZ either.
I'm going to assume that you're pretty good at TVP, otherwise...
No.
You're not... well, you're obviously pretty good at laddering because you're in this tournament. So, what did you do to ladder? Did you buy your way into the tournament? What went on there? You bought your way in. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, I paid some Korean Pro $300 an hour to ladder my account.
Man, you actually imported him into the country as well, because we did an IP check, and clearly your house was the one playing. So, man, there was a Korean living in your house, and that's what got you into the tournament. Yep. I didn't think of that particular possibility. We need to tighten the rules for SHOUTcraft Season 2. All right, Hendralisk. So, you're up against Neeb right now. How much experience have you had playing against this guy?
I've run into him a few times on ladder, but I don't ladder too much, so I'm not too sure. But I have a general idea of how he plays, as you said earlier, how bad.
Okay.
So I'd have to be ready for that.
That could just be a trick, you know. He didn't build any Hellbats whatsoever in the previous series, so I don't know.
It's probably just saving it for me.
Ah, yes. A wonderful gift of Hellbats. Just what every Zerg player wants for Christmas, right? Neeb, I'm not going to ask you your strategy. You already revealed it in Game 1. We'll see whether or not you decide to stick to it. Do you have any final words for your opponent before you go into this match?
Not really. Just good luck, have fun.
GLHF, nice manner. Hendralisk?
Neeb's a young kid, so I'll go easy on him. But yeah, good luck.
That's... I don't know, man. You know, he has the guts to show his face. I just see a cat in a bow here.
Oh,
so, I don't know, man. You could be 12. You could be 12 and I wouldn't know. So, guys, get to your stations. Thank you very much for the quick interview there. We will, of course, be going into this battle very, very soon between these guys. So, once again, we get a chance to see Neeb in action here. Obviously, pretty nervous against Drunken Boy in a TVT. He's not too confident about his TVZ either. So,
yeah, you know, I feel like that's either a really good thing or a really bad thing, because on the good end, the way that you actually get good at this game is by being self-critical and by looking at your play and going, oh god, how can I make this better? Because I'm not a GSL Code S yet player yet. Oh, I'm so bad. Like, that mindset will drive you to succeed. But you want to have confidence in yourself when it's time to play, right? We're not talking about improvement. We're talking about actually qualifying for the next round or at elimination. And at the very least, I hope internally he has that sense of like, man, I can do this. I can win, I can crush. Because he was very close to pulling a game off Drunken Boy in set 2.
Yeah. You know, if he keeps lowering expectations like this, then I think he's going to have a shining career in politics ahead of him. But the problem is that he hasn't really been much of a tournament competitor. He has really no records to his name. So I have to wonder how much experience he really has here. And maybe, just maybe, that is not going to play in his favor.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, experience cannot be replaced by anything. You have to go to some tournaments. You have to lose a lot. You have to have that bone-crushing feeling of being so nervous and your build going poorly before you can actually step away objectively and go, all right, how do I fix this? How do I repair this? I can do better than this. And then you actually will, but it takes a lot of time. Hendralisk, you know, for as unknown as he may be compared to a lot of the famous players, has been at many MLGs and done a lot of online cups.
Yeah, he is very experienced. He's a veteran of this kind of thing. So, the question is, will he be able to turn that against Neeb? I'd say Hendralisk is the favorite going into this. I don't think that's unreasonable.
I think that's a fair statement to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Okay. We are ready to rock it. Let's make it happen. We're going to be going to this game. We're going to start on Belshire Vestige. Pretty popular map in this tournament. All right, so loading in right now. And this, of course, will be a loser's match. That means that one of these guys is out of the tournament. They are gone. GG. Done. The other fellow will advance to play Gosu User, which, once again, is not much of a reward. But if you want to get through, then that's what you're going to have to do. So, spawning to the southeast position in the red trunks, playing Zerg, it is
Complexity Hendralisk.
really strong player. Narrowly beaten by Gosu User in a Zerg versus Zerg, 2-1. Versus his opponent, the rookie, Greenhorn, Private. He is in the blue trunks playing Terran to the northwest. He is
FXO Neeb.
You know, I gotta say, I feel like Belshire Vestige is the sort of map that rewards good short-term planning. I mean, if you look, there's a lot of narrow corridors. There's a lot of high-low ground. And if you want to get somewhere, it can be really inconvenient to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, just looking at the, for instance, the southern watchtower, just moving from there to the northern watchtower, you have to make sure that this broad area is covered. You have to make sure that there's no counterattack swinging along the left flank, all these sorts of things. You have to make sure that all your units are deliberately planted to cover all these sorts of contingencies. And I feel like that is why this is quite a popular map. That a lot of players just have this feeling of, all right, well, there's plenty of opportunities to outplan my opponent and to outposition my opponent. But I'd still favor Hendralisk a little bit. Neeb has shown some stellar defense and thinking on his feet, but I think Hendralisk is more going to be the one who just has overwhelming numbers, better expand timings, etc., etc.
Well, we will see, won't we? So, Barracks is down. Currently, that is a gasless expand. This is kind of the last opportunity. Some Terran have taken to taking their gas at 15, but now it's at 16. There's no way that we're going to see gas coming down here from Neeb. That would be a strange, strange build indeed. So, really, the only way out of this is to go for an expansion play. And Neeb looks like he's actually going to go for just that on the low ground as well. Hendralisk, on the other hand, takes gas, has his spawning pool up, but there's no real opportunity for pressure here. You know, this gasless expand on the low ground should work just fine, I think, for Neeb.
I mean, it's a great build, solid. I enjoy it, I like it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, I think that it's especially a good show of confidence to go for it on this map that has this wide of an entrance at the front. But you can always distinguish a sort of weaker player with a stronger one, because the stronger players will begin planning out their supply depot placement right now on supply depot 3. That's really going to be the telltale sign if he's an autopilot or if he's a thinking player.
Well, this is looking good. He was able to keep the Overlord away, which is in itself kind of a victory. It would have been nice if that had been able to scout something, but it didn't. So that's not really a big deal there. And now we have a situation where Neeb should be able to get his economy into good shape. Now the question is, what is the follow-up from this? This kind of delays tech, as you might imagine, because it takes gas very, very late. You see a lot of players going straight into a factory as soon as they have 100 gas, and then there are some players that decide to delay even further because they just want more barracks. Now, Neeb is not adding any add-ons on here, so we're going to see the factory, and there we will then see the add-on put in play as soon as he gets... There it is. The reactor is now down. So far, so standard, I feel, for Neeb.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything too out of the ordinary at this point in time.
No.
In Camp Hendralisk, there is something out of the ordinary. 5-minute layer tech.
Layer time.
What the heck? What?
That's
what
nuts.
What the actual hell, Totalbiscuit? Now, actually, go to Hendralisk's vision. He doesn't see the expansion. He doesn't see anything. He certainly will be pretty darn sure about it. I mean, look at all his Overlord movements. Haven't seen anything. But in this circumstance, you really can only barely afford 3 queens, and you can't really get any of your gas geysers too swiftly. Like,
no,
he has to wait
you
until
won't have
he's
any
half
minerals.
done. Yeah. So I think Hendralisk... Wait, what? He's going for all 4 geysers like this. This is...
He doesn't have the money for this, surely. I mean, there's a reason why this is not done as early as this. Because, as you said, you take all those drones off, you're going to have basically nothing mining.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. I mean, if he's going Mutalisks,
Yeah.
is he going to go Infestation Pit? I mean, Hydras? Hydra with perhaps a...
He's going Mutalisk.
Okay.
This is a really weird early timing for this. Like, yeah, it's going to catch his opponent completely by surprise, unless, of course, he scans or scouts or spots with these Hellions or many other things you can do. But your Mutalisk count is going to be so low, surely. You don't have the gas, and even if you do, your actual income is weak. You know, he's a good 200 minerals a second behind his opponent.
Well, let's think about this. In a minute, this is a 9-minute Mutalisk timing. Very, very early. We're already seeing Hellbat and soon to be Medevac production out of Neeb.
This would shut that down, though, wouldn't it? If you got that many Mutalisks out so early, you would have map control. You'd be able to shut the drops down.
I mean, it would. I mean, this is just a very thinly timed build by Hendralisk, and he really must do a lot of damage to his opponent, because right now things are getting a little bit dicey. Has to have those Zerglings in an adequate position. Has to establish a third, which is going to be a normal timing right about now, but wow, I actually think that he is going to just nail this time. I think Neeb might just get nailed to the wall here.
Obliterated? Yeah, it could
Yeah.
do. I mean, unless he gets really unlucky and runs into Widow Mines or whatever. And there's now drop potential for the Hellbats, but this has not been scouted. Neeb has no idea that this is here. And it's a really weird time. You would not expect that. Neeb's been clearing out Overlords quite nicely, preparing for this drop. His opponent knows this drop's coming, now has 7 Mutalisks, and there's this Hellbat drop. This is designed against Hellbats, obviously. Like, it's designed against this Hellbat timing. And it's gonna wreck it unless he misses it somehow.
Oh no, and Neeb just spent his extra boost, and now he's going to begin to run. Oh gosh, he realizes he won't be able to run away. What a complete disaster for Neeb.
Oh my god.
Loses to Hellbats in his first round game, and now his Hellbats just get slaughtered in game 2. In terms of resources lost, Hendralisk did lose a pretty significant amount of Zerglings. While flooding Zerglings, that's an error by Hendralisk. He needs to flood drones right now. He knows he's up against Hellbats. There's a 100% possibility of mines right now.
Yeah.
He will be encountering those, and I think he's going to run headlong into a big pack, unless he wants to try to suicide in and eliminate the mines. But right now, I mean, Neeb is going to have to be doing a lot of damage with those Hellbats. His Mutalisks are sweeping in.
Yeah. Oh man, he's gonna shut Stim down. He's gonna shut Stim down. Oh my god! Wow, Neeb loses the Stim. That's huge.
You know, this is actually one of the reasons why people don't rush for Mutalisks right now. Mines are so good at zoning, controlling, preventing you from going to the worker line, preventing you from hitting the front. But that one tech lab, that is big, big news for Neeb. Neeb actually can't even leave his base until Stim's done.
This is beautiful. I've got to say, man, Hendralisk says, yeah, I don't come across him on the ladder because I don't play that much on the ladder. But you know, I saw how many games he had to actually get into this tournament. Yeah, he did. He played quite a lot, and he must have run into Neeb a few times. This build is it is designed specifically against what he just saw, and it was well executed. Baneling's speed is about to finish. I mean, if he's got any sense, he'll wait. I mean, there's no reason to go in before Baneling's speed is finished. But ugh, I didn't like that. That was half his Banelings just going down there. And now he's attempting to engage. He has a lot of Banelings, though. Like, I don't think Neeb just doesn't have anything.
I mean, this is how life destroyed Flash at MLG Dallas. With Bio Mine, before there's a lot of Bio, you have no answer against Mass Ling Baneling. You don't have tanks, and you don't have the Bio necessary to kite against that. So Hendralisk recognizing, doing a huge speed Baneling, speed Zergling timing. The front's getting busted. Oh, the medevacs are falling. 2 have fallen already. That mine did get a nice connection, but man, Hendralisk is just steamrolling Neeb.
He really, really is. And it looks like Neeb is going to be able to hold on to this, but only just. Those Mutalisks are still there. He got a great mass repair on them. Workers lost 27. And Neeb trying to re-establish. He just got a knife to the back. That was horrible. And he's still in this fight, but Hendralisk is way ahead now, and he's now following up with a second wave of Baneling. He's putting Burrow into play, which I really like. Any kind of counterattack can be dealt with Baneling Mines, and then double Evolution Chamber to follow it up. He's on 3 bases solid. He still has some Mutalisks, not too many, but Man, that was nice. We're going to have to see a really good defense here from Neeb if he wants to stay in this game.
Wow, Henderless doing attack round 2. Hellbat's at the front, ripping things down. Banelings, doesn't matter what you're up against. If you have enough Banelings, it is going down. Good micro by Neeb. We've seen him micro nicely like this in his previous game, but god, the key medevacs fall as well. 31 SCVs out right now for Neeb, who's landing both his command centers to form a semi-wall. 2-2 is incoming. Stim. Wow.
Just finished. Just finished before that attack hit. Actually, no, I think it was not there when that attack connected, so that was really nice. Hendrix probably didn't know that, but it was nice regardless. More Banelings coming in now, and Hendrix is on 70 drones. He is totally comfortable on 3 bases now, and now it comes to Neeb. Neeb has got to do something to get back into this game. He can't just sit there.
Yeah, Neeb, though, does need to wait for 2-2. There's really no hope in attacking before his 2-2's done. He needs to wait for combat shield. This is one of the grossest positions to be in, where you're just chilling. This expand is about all that Neeb can hope to do, is to say, well, you know, I think I have enough units to be able to deal with this, so I will expand. Nice pickoffs on the changelings, but
Scan goes down, sees what he can see, sees a few Banelings, actually sees the borrowed Banelings, much more critical there. So, no crazy Baneling landmines. I mean, hell, if that were to hit a big clumpy unit, that's pretty much you done. There are now borrowed Lings here, which, you know, that's not very useful, you might think, but no, it's giving him a little bit of vision, showing him where his opponent is, which is very, very nice. More borrowed Banelings. He's going to try and draw his opponent out of position. I think Neeb's a little bit too savvy for that, but it doesn't matter, because Hendrilisk is taking a 4th base now, and he is in a really great position. He, surprisingly enough, actually has a really small army compared to Neeb. He's actually only on 108 supply now. Just a few Lings, Banelings, and a couple of Mutalisks.
Yeah, but look at the bank for Hendrilisk. He is saving up for Ultralisks. I mean,
Monstrous.
This is 20 drones in production. He's going to be up to 86. I mean, this is what looks like a little bit of a fragile position for Hendrilisk, but is actually an optical illusion. Look at that, getting the Adrenal right away, immediately following up with the Ultralisk Cavern, immediately following up with 2-2 upgrades. Hendrilisk knows that his strength now is the longer the game goes on, the more ahead he should be, so he's just going to go straight for Ultra Tech. Gosh, he's going to get, what, like 8, 9 Ultras out just in one fell swoop?
Yeah, the only funky thing about it is that the evolution chambers were a lot later because of this weird timing, so that means that these Ultras, when they pop out, they're not going to be the 5-3 that you would expect to see. This is nice, using the Mutalist to
Oh, the Banelings!
Oh! Oh, that was nasty. That took a good chunk out of that army there.
Well, this certainly can't be helpful to Neeb's confidence to sort of experience these blasts again and again and again and again. There's 5 Ultralisks coming out for Hendrilisk. Still has enough gas in the bank to get 3 more. Mutalist trying to find a good angle. I mean, Hellbat count at just 3, but that's actually enough.
Ooh, off goes another one. That was a big one as well. That was actually a really good hit. Oh, now a run by. Goes in. Widowmine doesn't really do much. That's going to be an instant cancellation on that. And he can't really attack from this position, but it was nice. It draws his opponent away again. Infestors being added on. And think about the combination of Ultras with Infestors and this creep spread. This creep is almost up to that natural ramp. He has so much maneuverability now. It's going to be really hard for Neeb to even leave his natural here.
It's really remarkable how smartly played this is by Hendrilisk. The Burrow, I think, is the big key for him to be able to get to Hive. Because, oh gosh, there's that Burrowed Baneling still there. Oh, barely missed. I mean, the Burrow means that, okay, well, Neeb really kind of wants to be able to attack as quickly as humanly possible. And Hendrilisk needs to go up to Ultralisks, so no problem. This Burrow ensures that Neeb will step out once, lose a bunch of units, and then be leery to move out ever again. So Neeb's doing the smart thing, trying to clear out the creep, but he's having to clear the creep out awfully close to his side of the map.
That's very, very true. Definitely risky. Couple of Lings come in and nicely shut down there. Another borrowed Baneling kills a couple of Marines there. But here it comes. The Ultras are now into play. Engaging slightly before 2-2, which is not ideal, but Neeb GG's immediately. There's no way standing up to that. You kidding me? That's insane. Really nicely done. Hendrilisk's build was unorthodox, I feel, with the Mutalisk timing, but it was designed to do one very specific thing, and it worked beautifully.
Well, that does mean that right now, Hendrilisk up 1-0, Neeb against the ropes again. Neeb's, last time had a rough game 1 and a much better game 2. Yep. Hopefully he can pull off a similar look.
Yeah, it comes down to how weird that opening was, I think, and that build from Hendralisk, and you'd think that that's probably the build that's only going to work once, right? It's not really designed to carry him through a best of 3, but just to put him on the map. So maybe we see a little bit more of a conventional play from Hendralisk going in there. Maybe Neeb attempts the Hellbat drop again, but that's the weird mind game going on. Does Neeb risk the same thing? Because if he does, and it fails, then Hendralisk just smashes him again.
I mean, it's the sort of thing where I think it's an example of being more prudent with scouting and not autopiloting. I think that there is a breed of Grandmaster that is really good at executing a build that you're supposed to execute, you know, with air quotes around supposed to execute, really good at going against players who are doing the builds that they're supposed to execute, but is absolutely terrible when it comes to players doing things that are just even slightly outside the norm. And I can tell that Neeb's just being really, really punished for that sort of thing. You know, it's so easy to say, okay, well, I am going to go Hellion to poke at their front while they tech and I tech. But, you know, there's nothing to stop Hendralisk, for instance, from going mass Zergling and hiding 80 Zerglings. And you need to have an answer for that. There's nothing to stop Hendralisk from making 0 Zerglings and getting a 5-minute layer and teching the Mutalisks stupidly fast. There's nothing to stop him from doing that. And you have to be prepared for that and know that that's something that you can be looking for.
Couldn't agree more with that one, honestly. And this just gives all the cards to Hendralisk, and Neeb has just got to hope for a really great hand, otherwise he's going to be in serious trouble. We'll find out whether or not he can pull that off, folks. You're currently watching SHOUTcraft America. It is going to be Game 2. Hendralisk and Neeb coming up right after this. Coming in. Alright, well, we're going to game 2 very shortly, folks. Yes, we are. It will be pretty cool, I think. So, Neeb gets caught by the anti-Neeb. We saw Hendralisk build something that was a little off the wall and very clearly designed to slap down Neeb's playstyle.
It was really excellent to see executed. I mean, Liquid Red has done similarly swift Mutalisk plays. We've seen it crumble a number of times with a number of players in those situations. I mean, a lot of the old Team Slayers players would crush the too fast Mutalisk, but man, did that timing line up perfectly. I mean, Mutalisk popped out just before the Hellbat medevac drop. This next map, though, Neoplanet S, I love. It is my current far and away favorite map in the map pool. I mean, it leads to really intense games. There's a lot of interesting movement. The fact that it's far along the top or bottom lane and no real movement through the center leads to really interesting counterattack potentials. And I think it definitely allows for hyper-aggressive Terran play.
Alright, well, let's see what happens. These guys, I think, are ready to rock and or roll, whichever might happen to come first and be to their preference. So we're going to be going into this game on Neoplanet S right about now. Okay. I do like Neoplanet S as well, honestly. This is a map that... Hell, I'm even good at this map on ladder. So, you know, there you go. Oh, Hendralisk with a BM coming out right here, right out of the gate. Don't forget the Armory Kappa. Oh, yeah. It's true, Neeb didn't, but it didn't really help at all. Hendralisk with the nice little bit of trash talking there. I like it. It's good. We don't have a respect culture in the US like we do in South Korea. This kind of talk from South Korean players against each other is very, very rare. Americans just don't care. It's good. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering the fact that Neeb is actually 15 and Hendralisk is not 15. Is much older.
Yes. So this is actually kind of abusive, but never mind. I'm okay with that. In StarCraft, we're all equal, except the